Hey there, today for our 3D printing Tinkercad tutorial we're going to be making a name tag, and you can see mine sitting right there. We're going to grab the few shapes that we need in order to accomplish this, and then we're going to get started. Notice that I'm pulling them all from the basic shapes. There are other options to choose from, but all of these came from the basic shapes. So the first thing, you can change the color when you select a shape, and you can also make it into a hole. You can adjust the size, the width, the length, the height right there from that little drop down menu. I prefer to type them in to be more precise. So if you type in the number that you want, I just did 20s there to get my shape, you can do that. Also, there's these little black dots. These little black dots will allow you to change the shape in one direction, either width or height or length, and then the white ones will allow you to adjust multiple width or height at the same time. So I'm going to measure this out to about 80, and then for the size I'm just going to type in 20. So we got an 80 by 20 square here, and then it's going to be 10 high. So once I have that set up, I've got my baseline for my name tag. Now I need to make some sort of hole in the middle so that we can actually put letters. If I would just put letters on top of that, when it printed it out, it would just be a long block. You wouldn't be able to see any of the letters because just the plastic letters and then the plastic of the rectangle would both be there. So this item that I have here is called a hole. And when I group a hole with a normal object, as you can see, they join together and it takes that section out. Now these are going to be very useful. When you hit group, it groups them together. When you hit ungroup, it'll separate them. So here, I don't want to take off the bottom of my square, I want to take off the top part. So there's a little triangle at the very top, you can see I'm grabbing it. If you grab that, you can lift it up off the build plate. Now this is essential for making our area in the proper location. So we're going to get this centered here, and then once I've checked it, I'm going to group it together, and you'll see it takes off the top layer, but there's still a layer at the bottom. That's going to be important because once we type in our text here and resize it to fit the shape, we want something on the bottom to support the letters. If we created a hole straight through, when it goes to print it, there'll be no base. All there will be is the square on the outside, and then the letters, and then all the other parts would just be, it just goes straight through. So there we go, we put our letters onto our square. Now we're going to talk about how to rotate shapes. Okay, you see these little swooping shapes with arrows on either side. You can grab those and rotate it that way. To be honest, to me it feels a little imprecise when you do it that way. I prefer to type in the numbers, so I'm going to grab a fresh one and show you what I did here. So I just select that and hit 90, and then if I want to rotate it the other way, I can hit -90 and it'll rotate it that way. Now as you notice, this object, when it rotates, it's sticking under the work plane. The printer can't print below the print bed, so I'm going to have to raise that up to get it even with the work plane, and then I'm going to match it up with my name tag. Once I have it lined up, I'm going to adjust the height so that it's even, and check it all around, and then I can group that together. Now once I've got this group together, it's all going to share the same color, and I only got one step left, which is to create the hole for the keychain to go through. Now, as I resize that, I notice that it's too short, so I'm going to make it higher. Once I get that centered, we're going to group that, and that will leave us with a completed keychain. So obviously you're going to do this with your name, but here are the steps to accomplish that.